Welcome to another episode of Life in Bali, a presentation of Quk Audio. I'm DC Puba of Quk Audio and Quk Archives, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Dogette Bandita and Feline Cuchita and dear lovely Katrinka. Well, I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable and free of any economic hardship and able to get out and do whatever you want within the confines of do as little harm as possible. Today's guest is Wayan Sudira, and we'll get into Wayan Sudira at 22 minutes and 50 seconds. But first, I want to give you a virus report. I heard there were 78 new cases yesterday of virus here in Bali. Which would be, it's 78 new people testing positive. There's been a slight uptick in the positives right now. And this is out of a population of 4,200,000. There's 4,726 positive. 4,115 of those have recovered. So that's about 600 still dealing with it. And there have been 56 deaths. So we've had like a death, maybe a death a day for the last week, on average. So they managed to keep it down pretty well here, but we'll see how this develops. Oh, I wanted to tell you something that happened that I thought was pretty neat. Maybe I'll just read it to you. I put it on my Quk Nonsense blog for Monday, August 24th. It's called Katrinka Gets a Mask. Katrinka was in a pharmacy, and the woman in front of her, another bule, foreigner she didn't know, found she was short 20,000 rupiah, about $1.50. So Katrinka gave it to her. The woman wanted to know how to pay her back, but Katrinka said, don't worry about it. What goes around comes around. So, and they didn't know each other. She hadn't seen her before. So flash forward a month. Katrinka's walking to yoga just the other day, when she realizes she's forgotten to wear a mask. Oh, darn, have to go back home, she thought. But just then a voice called out. It was the woman Katrinka had given that 20,000 to riding by on a bicycle. She stopped to say hello and thank you. And again, how can I pay you back? I can pay you back now. She said, Katrinka told, don't worry about it. Do someone else a favor. And then, she said, I'm going to go back home now and get my mask because I forgot to wear one. And, when you realize you don't have a mask on here, you feel naked. And it's embarrassing, and you got to get home immediately or get a mask. The woman said she happened to have an extra one on her, and it was new and unused. So Katrinka didn't have to walk back home to get a mask. So that worked out nicely, huh? I frequently forget to wear a mask, but I will remember it when I get to the end of the gong here is like an alley or something. It's, it's just a dead-end street with, homes on it. And I'll get like, it's not very far from our door to the bigger street out there, the through street. How far? 100 feet, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. And so usually I'll, before I get there, I'll go, oh, darn. I'll talk, usually I'm with Bondi, I'm walking Bondi, and I go, oh, Bondi, lupa, mascar. Bondi, I forgot my mask. And so we go back, and then I tell her, Tunggu sebentar, wait a minute. I talked to her in Indonesian. She's bilingual dog. And then I go back out. So, once I got all the way to the Colonial House, which is a 2-minute walk down the street, once I got all the way in, and as soon as I saw a worker in there who was painting with a mask on, I went, oh, darn, lupa mascar, I got to go home. So, but the furthest I ever got was going all the way down to the end of the street here. That's like 100 yards. And then making a right on the bigger street, still just a 2-lane street. But, with parking on the sides and commercial places. And I got, gee, wow. Oh my God, I got past the first small street. And I was right in front of Malika's, a really, really nice place to eat, sort of natural foods and stuff. We should eat there more, but we mainly eat at home. I know they're going to go out of business. I hear Malika said she's going to have to move it to Ubud, where there's a more dependable clientele. So I was right there, and I was standing there. So I walked inside Malika's. I said to the woman employee there, hey, can you help me? I forgot a mask. No, I lied. You know what I said? I didn't want to admit what happened. I said my mask broke. And then just then, a guy walked in, I guess the manager, and I told him. He went, hang on. And he ran upstairs and came back down and gave me a mask. I should give him something. You can buy a little packet of masks here for 4 of them for about 50 cents. But that reminds me, we ordered 10 cloth ones from Miss Eka, and she's the one who delivers our jamu on Friday. I used to make jamu, but I got lazy, and hers is so good. And it's 60,000 for a liter. It's like $4, $4.25. So, she delivers it on Friday, but she makes cloth masks that are really nice. So we ordered 10 of them from her because I want to stop using the others because I don't throw them away. And then I read an article about it that said, don't do that. Well, I do throw them away if they, get old enough. But I have 7 hooks that I hang them on and rotate use. A lot of times it will be a week or even more, 10 days before I see another one because I'm, I don't get out of here that much. I mean, I go out and walk, but, it's not for very long. But anyway, I want to start wearing cloth ones and then putting them into the laundry, getting a bunch of them, putting them in the laundry after I wear them once. She said she'd have them here before now, so I want to get those. Anyway, accident report. I haven't given you an accident report in a while. We had some shelves put in. Cardino, our carpenter, was in Java, but his son Barry was around, and Gay Petty. No, I meant that in the old-fashioned way. But Petty put in a couple of shelves for us that we wanted in the kitchen, and it was right above where we have the trash container and the recycling container, both of which are, rather small. Like the recycling thing's about 2 feet tall, and the trash is about, a little over a foot tall, with a foot, you can put a foot pedal on it. And then the recycling one has like sort of a swinging top, a little roof that swings. So, I'm sort of the kitchen cleanup person here. I'm not sort of, I am the kitchen cleanup here. Even when the housekeeper's here, I do the dishes and stuff. So I'm always going over there and putting in little things. We have another container for compost in there. And then right out the kitchen door in our little tiny back courtyard, there's a bucket with a cover for the compost. And then that gets moved up to the bigger, sort of like maybe 30-gallon size trash can with a lid for to make the compost. And I've got another one to the left of it where I throw dirt. I mix dirt with it. Well, actually, what it is sort of a low-grade fertilizer that's a lot of dirt and rice husks and stuff. So I mix that with it. And then there's another one to the right, and we got a grate that where it gets when the compost container out there gets full, push it through the grate and let it sit there until the next one is full. So that takes a couple of months, and things compost here really quick, so it's really good by the time it gets used. So every few months we have like 30 gallons of compost get spread around. All right. Back to back to the shelves, right? So the shelves are about 4 feet long. 4 feet, no, maybe 5 feet long. There's 2 of them. They're really nice. They match shelves he and his father put in the kitchen proper. This is just on the edge of the kitchen. And we've just got so many jars of things, and we're making all this muesli and trail mix and different things. We've got the ingredients. So things were getting a little, where you couldn't see where anything was. So he did that. And he built it all just sitting out in the courtyard. And he sawed these absolutely straight lines just with a handsaw on plywood. He gets a really nice piece of plywood. That plywood was $35. And then, he gets these strips to put on the face of it. God, it's just amazing. He just uses this old handsaw and he just sits there on the courtyard, and just has a little something to keep it in there, and he just goes down, and they're just like you cut them on a table saw. And they do have, I know they do have power saws, power planer, but God, I don't know. Have I ever seen them use? When they've had a lot to do, I think I remember that. I don't know if I ever remember them using a power saw. Power planer I've seen, but because they've done a lot of stuff for us here. But no, all he used was a saw. So he got those up. And one thing I've had him do before, but I forgot to say, is round the corners off. And I forgot to say that. I really like rounded. I don't like sharp corners on things. I used to make tables, and I'd round off the corners, which is also sort of cheating and making the table, because a joint there is a lot easier if you do that. Actually, I'd make it sharp, and then I'd just cut some off and round it off. But the last time they'd made a shelf that was pretty high, I banged my head on the corner too and had them cut that off, because that was no fun. So I got to keep that in mind when things are built. I went only round the corners. So that thing had been up for like a few minutes. I mean, I was cleaning some stuff in the kitchen, and I came over to put some, little tiny something into the trash can, and I put my foot on it, and, I reached down to get in it, and I stood up, bang, I hit my head right on that sharp corner up there. Oh, man, that knocked me out. Wow. It was bloody, and there was blood coming down, and I had to finish doing a few things, and I did, but then I had to go sleep for a while. I went and slept for an hour after that. So, and then that's gone now. That's healed. But I don't have a lot of hair on my head, and also what I do have, I get cut short. So, for like a week, the few people I'd see say, "Hey, what happened to your head?" Now, as soon as she realized what had happened, Katrinka immediately switched the trash and recycling receptacles with the 2 wooden stools that were under the kitchen altar. And there's no head bumping problems now. But Petty still cut the 2 exposed corners off of the new shelves, and all is well. So, that's enough of all that. So now let's talk to Wayan. Here, let me tell you a little bit about him. Wayan is my friend Moneyya, Bhikkhu Moneyya's driver, and also his landlord. And Wayan's a driver. He drives tourists around. So he doesn't have any work now, right? Because this place, man, it is. There ain't no tourists here. I think people from Indonesia, they finally let come in now, other parts. But I don't see any of them. I don't see anything like that. Moneyya is the American Theravada monk. He's 74. He's just a year younger than me. We had him on a couple of the early Life in Bali's on May 24th and June 6th. Actually, the first 2 standalone Life in Bali podcasts, when it was moved from the variety show type podcast where there was everything, reading a crooked cucumber and everything in Life in Bali, and then interviewing somebody, having a phone chat with somebody who studied with Suzuki. And it wasn't long after we went from doing 1 a week to 6 a week. Moneyya's been around Cuke Audio Podcast for a while. Oh, he lived in a monastery in Burma for 7 years. He spent time in Sri Lanka and in monasteries. He's leaving Saturday to go to Java to a Buddhist monastery, and he doesn't know for how long. He's got to see how well he does physically. He's got some problems with his hips, but they really want him there. They said they'll totally take care of him, medical, everything. And it's a very small, rather new monastery. And it's in his lineage from Burma. And there's just a few guys there, and they really wanted him, but they got money because they're flying him there. They're paying all his expenses. They said they'll pay for his visa. And he said, well, he really needed to get a kitap this time. And that's expensive. That's like $3,500. But it's good for 5 years. It's what you get after you had the kitas, which we have for 5 times. And we have had kitas for 5 times, but if you change, if it's broken up, if you change agents, you sort of start all over or something. But anyway, we can't afford to get kitap anyway. That much at once, my God, he said 50,000, that'd be 100,000. Oh my, 50 million, that'd be 100 million. That'd be like $7,000 for the 2 of his horse. Yeah. So we've already paid to get another kitas that will be in from when? From September, October, around in there. We give them the money and give our agent money, get it all set up way early. And guess what? Immigration's closed anyway. The headquarters is closed in Java, in Jakarta. So let's now focus on Wayan, our guest for this podcast. Wayan is a really upright guy. He's very handsome. He's very sharp. He's 55. He doesn't look it. He's really in good shape. And he lives in a nice little town not far from here. And Moneyya built a home in Wayan's, what do we call it, in his villa. And he's got, there's an extended family living in there. And they had enough extra room, and, it's sort of walled off, and that's very normal, for Moneyya to build a small home. And man, did he build a home. And we're going to go visit it this afternoon. Wayan's coming here to pick us up with Moneyya. Moneyya had some family money. He doesn't use it for anything, so he built a home there. And it is really nice. It's traditional Balinese craftsmanship on the outside. Months of carvings of wood and stone and statues. And he put in nice paving stones in front of his place and then just had the whole compound paved that way. It's got a roofed area and a non-roofed area. He can go up there and work or meditate or whatever he wants. And it's got a little kitchen, a little living room. It's really nice. Anyway, we're going to go see it. But, and Moneyya, now he's going to this place in Java. He said he doesn't even know if he'll come back. And he's very popular in the neighborhood there. And because people, he wears his robes, his orange robes always. And people really respect the monk. And you'll hear Wayan referring to him as Bante. That's what that people will call a monk like that. Maybe it's just Buddhist monks they call Bhante. Now, before we call Wayan up, I'm going to read something a story that he told Moneyya, and which Moneyya wrote up a nice little piece on it. And it's on Moneyya's website, which isn't going to be there much longer, balifortulsi.com. I'm going to put the whole thing on QCanX. It's under articles. Moneyya spent a great deal of time and money and effort trying to get Tulsi Gabbard elected president. And was very disappointed when it didn't work out. But anyway, he's returning to the quest for Nirvana. So it's called Bad Times in Bali, an autobiographical account. And it's got a picture of Sukarno, the founding father of the independent Indonesia and first president, and Suharto, the one who followed him. And the United States didn't like Sukarno because he was flirting with communists. So we made sure that we did our part to help see that lots and lots of people were killed here, so that Suharto could come to power and be a despot. Anyway, you can read about that. There was that movie, right? What was it called? The Year of Living Dangerously. Wonderful movie that took place during that time. Oh, yeah, they killed 500,000 people here. The CIA, my understanding is, gave them a list of 5,000 people to kill. Sort of things that the United States would do back then. That was mid-'60s, was, get teachers and social workers and people who were interested in bettering society. No kidding. We did it in Central America, too. Anyway, I don't know what we're doing now, but I don't think we're doing all that much bad stuff. The bad stuff's happening internally in America now. All right, so enough of that. But Wayan did tell me, I told him I wanted him to talk about this and all that, and he'd rather talk about Hinduism and Bali culture and more positive things. And he said it was, it was hard growing up during Suharto's time. But this will give you a little taste of it. All right, introductory note from Moneyya, or Bhante Moneyya, as Wayan calls him. Bhikkhu Moneyya, as he calls himself, and Moneyya, or Hey You, as I call him. All right, he wrote, I recorded this story after several hours of conversation with a Balinese friend of mine. I can vouch for his integrity and have tried to present his point of view to the best of my ability. At times, however, it is possible that I may have misunderstood his message or injected my own bias into the conversation, for which I take full responsibility. Please feel free to contact me about any errors in this article, and I will be happy to make the appropriate corrections. One last thing. Although this article initially included my friend's name, after careful consideration, I decided that it might be better to err on the side of caution when it comes to publishing names on the web. I have therefore gone ahead and removed his name and contact information without altering the text in any other way. Bhikkhu Moneyya, February 25th, 2020. So I include his name, and I asked him permission. My name is Wayan Sudira. I am 55 years old, married with 5 children, and currently living in Batu Bulan, Bali. As a young man, I loved sports and trained in karate, judo, and volleyball. In 1984, at the age of 19, I was appointed captain of the Bali Volleyball Association. Later that year, our team was invited to compete in a tournament in Denpasar, the capital of Bali, with the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Police Force teams. During our game with the Army team, I managed to catch a glimpse of several soldiers who were rooting for the Army team. Their voices were loud, and I could tell they weren't happy when our team won the tournament. After the tournament, on my way home, I decided to take a swim in the ocean. I was riding my motorcycle to the beach when several other cyclists drew even with me and forced me off the road. It turned out to be 3 of the soldiers who had been rooting for the Army team. One of them knocked me off my bike, and then the 3 of them together began to beat me as I was lying on the ground. It was easy to see that the soldiers were not Balinese, but rather from Java, which made sense since Bali and Java were not on the best of terms at that time. They had come after me since I had been the high scorer of the tournament. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't defended myself, because under President Suharto, the military had ultimate authority and could pretty much get away with murder. Anyway, I managed to get up and grab a stick, and with my knowledge of stick fighting, was able to fend them off. Nonetheless, I had been badly beaten, and when I returned home, my father noticed my black eye and asked me what had happened. I described to him how the soldiers had waylaid me and beaten me for nothing more than winning a game. He could see how angry I was, and I expected him to be sympathetic. Suddenly he began to yell at me and hit me, and since my father was usually a pretty calm person, I became totally confused. Why are you hitting me? I've done nothing wrong. It was only then that my father told me the story of what had happened to him in 1965, when I was 6 months old. This is what he told me. On September 30th, 1965, 7 of the top generals under President Sukarno's command were murdered in Jakarta. I've heard 9, incidentally. The murder was blamed on the Communist Party, of which Sukarno was said to be a member. Suddenly, General Suharto, who was lower down in the chain of command than several of the murdered generals, found himself in a position of power with considerable influence over the PNI, the Nationalist Party of Indonesia, which at the time was one of possibly 10 or more political parties that were competing for a voice in the parliament. In October of 1965, the PNI began a purge of the Communist Party, and the killings began. As the conflict escalated, the fear of communism swept over the island of Bali like a plague. Everyone was suspect and ultimately at the mercy of the PNI. One day, an officer in the army who was a friend of my father's stopped at our house. He explained to my father that someone in the village had accused him of being a communist. He said, "If you stay at home, they will come to your house and kill you," and invited my father to stay with him until it was safe to return home. That evening around 7 p.m., my father left with his friend to stay in his house. Between 11 and 12 p.m., a band of vigilantes arrived at our village. They waited outside our house, but since my father wasn't there, they moved on the Banjar, our community hall, where the other male villagers had been ordered to stay. According to a friend of mine who saw the killings, 3 of our fellow villagers were led out into the street and run through with swords. After that, the vigilantes returned to the Banjar and led 2 more villagers out into the street. One of the villagers was run through with a sword and the other was beheaded. After that, the vigilantes burned down the Banjar. It was said that the vigilantes had been given the names of these villagers by the PNI. For the record, I wish to state that the only thing these men were guilty of was being leaders in our community. In the case of my father, throughout his life, he had very little interest in politics and was definitely not a communist. By profession, he was a dancer, musician, and painter. And since he was fairly well known and respected for his skill in the arts, perhaps someone had become jealous of him. That's all it took back in those days to be identified as a communist. During the 3-month time period of my father's confinement, many other innocent villagers were denounced as communists and killed. The worst slaughter took place in the village of Tegal Badang in Jambrana region, where every single adult male was murdered. Of course, the vigilantes also wanted to kill my father and even knew where he was staying, but were afraid to enter his friend's house because he was a military man. My father was certainly lucky to have such a good friend. The purge ended in January of 1966, and after that my father was able to return home. Although the purge had ended, the power struggle between Suharto and Sukarno continued on until Sukarno's impeachment in 1967, when he was put under house arrest and Suharto became president. I think it was the lingering trauma of these events that caused my father to become so upset. When he saw that I wanted payback for what the soldiers had done to me, he told me, "If you go back and fight them, they will kill you." This was one time, however, that I didn't listen to my father. Due to my prowess as an athlete and being a bit headstrong, I was determined to take my revenge. Every day I rode my bike past the army barracks until I spotted one of the soldiers. I knew he often hung out with his 2 friends and was willing to bide my time until I could catch the 3 of them together. One day, I spotted all 3 of them as they left the barracks. I followed them down the street on their motorcycles. When I caught up to them, I knocked one of them off his bike, beat him, and left him lying on the ground. The other 2 got off their bikes and came for me, but I was ready for them this time and beat them both. I felt vindicated and left the scene with all 3 soldiers lying on the ground. When I got home, I was careful not to let my father know about the second confrontation, as I knew how much it would upset him. I guess I'm lucky that the 3 soldiers never came looking for me again. Nevertheless, the stigma of what happened to my father remained with me for years, so that when I applied to join the police force in 1985, my application was turned down on the grounds that my father was a communist. And I wasn't the only one to suffer. Many other Balinese lost their jobs or had land that had been in the family for generations stolen from them or given to Suharto's friends and family members. Those who spoke up about their mistreatment would get a visit from the military, who were not averse to using their own methods of persuasion, as I myself had discovered. During this time, the government maintained total control of the media, and those who were foolish enough to express an independent view or support a different political party were strongly censored and often made to disappear. No doubt it was a bad time for Bali. Most Balinese loved Sukarno because his mother was Balinese, but that was not the only reason. He was the father of our country and helped to create a truly egalitarian and morally uplifting constitution. Based on what my father told me, his loss was a great tragedy, and the reign of terror instituted by the one who replaced him compounded that tragedy many times over. It was only in 1999, a year after the May Rebellion, when thousands of students joined together in Jakarta to force Suharto out of office, that the media began to open up, and we started to hear stories about how the CIA had masterminded and supported Suharto's overthrow of Sukarno. We also learned how in 1967, soon after Suharto had taken office, a U.S. company called Freeport was granted a 91% profit share in the Grasberg mine of Papua, Indonesia, the largest gold mine and second largest copper mine in the world, leaving a whooping 9% to the country where the mine was located. Coincidence? We think not. Perhaps Suharto was merely returning a favor. End notes. To demonstrate that Indonesia actually does possess an egalitarian and morally uplifting constitution, I have decided to present the 5 basic principles that all citizens of Indonesia live by, called Pancasila. These 5 principles form the philosophical basis for the Indonesian Constitution and are found at the end of its preamble. They are said to be inseparable and interrelated with one another, but in order to understand their significance, we need to put each one of them in a historical perspective. For example, at the time that Indonesia attained independence, it was an archipelago consisting of many islands with numerous ethnicities, races, religions, and contrasting cultures, separated into island states that were oftentimes in conflict with one another. One thing they all had in common, though, was a belief in divinity, or in the case of Buddhism, a belief in Dharma, ultimate truth, the supreme law. All these, Moneyya added that because they don't say that here. They say, yes, of course, there's only one God. All these various religious teachings were accepted under the umbrella belief in an almighty God. Such a belief, when properly understood and practiced, helps to support a moral law and reduce animosity, thereby unifying the country and providing the basis for a just government and a free society. In this way, each of the 5 Pancasila supports the other 4. The 5 Pancasila are listed below. 1. Belief in an almighty God. This boils down to acceptance of all religions. Well, they only have 7 officially recognized religions, and you have to be one of them here at some point. They don't check up on you later in life, but, when you fill out things for the government, you have to put in what your religion is. You can't put in atheist or no religion. 2. A just and civilized humanity, the practice of morality. 3. A unified Indonesia, unity in diversity, and diversity in unity. 4. Democracy led by the wisdom of consensus or through representatives. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. 5. Social justice for all Indonesians. Equality, justice, and rights for all citizens. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot, Moneyya, for getting that all down, and thanks a lot, Wayan, for telling him. Wow. That was something. Now, a tiny bit about Wayan, and then we'll call him up. Anyway, we had trouble getting connected at first, and you'll hear us referring to that. Or maybe I cut that part off. But anyway, to record a call here, I like to use Facebook Messenger because it's free, If I use Skype to call, and because I can record Skype, I can't record WhatsApp, then I have to pay. Not a lot, but I have to pay for that. Skype to America, my other calls, Skype's great for recording. And I Skype to America for cell phones and landlines is like $30 a year unlimited. So that's great. Anyway, so halfway through not halfway through, a third of the way through, like 12 minutes into it, the audio started going bad. There was a bad connection. And we had to stop. And, after a while, I said, let me check this and call you back. So I called him back on Skype, and that worked. So, when he says the word football, he's talking about soccer. Soccer's called football everywhere in the world. Most people know that, I think. And he mentions that he worked 14 or 15 years before he got into the travel business at the Sanur Beach Hotel. And he calls it Brahma Sanur Beach or Sanur Beach Brahma. Well, Sanur Beach Hotel is the old name. Brahma is the new name. And it's, Brahma's about it's about a 15-minute, it's about a 10-minute walk to get to the gate, but then it's another few minutes to get from there to get inside. I've played tennis there. It's a very, very nice place, and it's it's one of the older places around here. So that's it. So here we go with Wayan Sudira. Okay, good. We're here.
Hello, David. Yes.
Wayan.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you are
Yes.
being recorded right now.
Okay. Yes.
So
Yeah.
you are Wayan Sudira.
Yeah. I must introduce first myself. Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, David.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Start.
Oh no, you go on.
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Wayan Sudira. I am now 55 years old. I born at Banjar Pagutan Kaca, Batu Bulan, 8 of September 1995.
And tell them where Batu Bulan is.
Yes, Batu Bulan, yeah. Banjar Pagutan Kaca, Batu Bulan. My Banjar is Pagutan Kaca. My village is Batu Bulan.
Yeah, but where is Batu Bulan?
At Gianyar region.
And where is Gianyar region?
Gianyar is the region of province of Bali, region of Gianyar, and then district Sukawati, village Batu Bulan.
Yeah.
That is the real address, my address.
So it's in Bali.
Yeah, Bali. Yeah, of course.
And it's near Denpasar.
Yes, really the location in the middle between Sanur and Ubud, close to Denpasar.
Yeah.
I born here, I live here until now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were you born in that house?
Yeah. I live with because I'm Balinese. I live with my parent first time, and then I received the house from my parent.
Mm-hmm.
That is I live. Yeah. That is until now. I has been grows, and because I'm Balinese, my father Balinese, my mother Muslim.
Oh.
I follow. Yeah, my mother Muslim. David. I follow the root of my father. I'm Hinduism. Yeah.
Where's your mother from?
My mother, she came from East Java, Surabaya.
Oh, yeah, in Java.
Yeah, Java, Surabaya. Yeah. And for myself, I has more because I think influence of my mix blood, yeah,
Yeah.
Jawa and Bali.
Yeah.
I has more different about character when I'm grows up from the child time, yeah.
Ah.
I'm more I'm more open mind, yeah. I'm
Oh.
more open mind depending my friend here in the village, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I has when I'm child, I'm recognized. I has like opinion. I want to do more. Yeah, I want to know more. Yeah, and
Yeah.
why when I'm grows up at my village, that is the center of artists. Yeah, it's like stone carving and then dancing. Yeah, and
Mm.
also sport. Yeah, sport. Yeah. Sport pastime at my village is football and volleyball. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But I more love volleyball, and
Mm.
then I'm training volleyball. Since I'm start, I think I was about 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years old. I'm follow because at my Banjar near my Banjar they has volleyball field. Every evening around 4 5 p.m. people
Oh.
start to play and I'm follow that group, yeah, because I'm child. I follow many youngest people play at that time. I'm following, yeah, until I has been study at junior school.
Yeah.
When I was 3 years in the junior school at Sukawati, yeah, that's a district Sukawati. I'm from my village, my school about 5 kilometer. I do by bicycle every day.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah, and then that is I the first time I'm find out I am start to good player of volleyball, and then I advise Bali for junior team of Bali to Jakarta.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, that is the first my experience. Yeah, study and sport. Yeah, David. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, from that time, from 15 years old, I'm more after I'm advised Bali for volleyball junior team. Uh, my team not champion that, but I'm returned again to Bali. That make I'm more serious to training volleyball. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, until I'm 18 years old, I was very good football player for Bali. I'm the
Mm.
best volleyball player for Bali that time. That is why I has been invite no advised Bali also for we call Indonesian champion for Indonesian champion, yeah.
He means championship. Yeah.
That is the participant from all around Indonesia at Jakarta, yeah.
Yeah.
That is yeah. That is I'm a captain team of Bali, the captain, yeah, for
Yeah.
volleyball team. Yeah, that is my career for sport, but that is because I'm study David. I'm study by high school. I'm finished high school, and then I'm focused to my volleyball career, and then I has been play at Jakarta also. Yeah,
Yeah.
for national team of Indonesia. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then at 1985, yeah, I'm returned to Bali. That is the governor of Bali, Mr. Ide Bagus Mantra, helped me for the job, yeah, because I'm not working. I'm returned from Jakarta. I'm not working, and then he has helped me for job, and then I'm working at Sanud Rama Sanud Beach Hotel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that the beginning of my experience of my life. Yeah, and then I'm working at Pramasano Beach, but I'm still play volleyball, and by position at security. Yeah,
Yeah.
security, and then I'm start to contact with the tourists, yeah, with the foreigner. Yeah, that is I use my time for study, speak English.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm conversation with a guest over there. That is make my mind more open again. Yeah, about abroad, yeah, about abroad. How is American? How is Australian? How is Europe? Yeah, worldwide. I'm open my mind about worldwide. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, and also because I'm Balinese, I love also to my religion, Hinduism, and by myself, because my mama is Muslim. She teach me also about Muslim, but my father more telling me about Hinduism.
Yeah.
That I'm living in Bali. I'm not follow my mom. I follow my father. That is for Hindu, and that is I'm seriously to learn about religion. That's
Mm.
my principle is honesty, yeah, honesty. Because Hindu Bali is different between Hindu Indonesia or Hindu India, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is I learn about religion. I practice religion. Also, I practice social activity in the village. Yeah, that is
Hmm.
build myself to be more love about Bali. I love Bali. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that is following of my job at hotel. And then because I'm more challenged, I love with the Bali how to explain Bali to the foreigner. And then I'm quit my job at Salubit, and then I'm doing job for tour guiding. Yeah,
Oh.
that is at about I think that about 1999.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm working as an Ubid about moment about 14 or 15 years over there. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And then I'm changing my job to be a tour guiding. That is make my mind more open. Yeah, about another country. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
also I love to explain about Bali to my guests, my customer. And that is I'm more focused, did my job, and then I've learned a lot. Also, I read a book for Hinduism.
So later I asked Wayan, hey, you said you did a book on Hinduism? Oh, no, he's gathering material. He writes things down and he collects them to make a book on Hinduism and on the culture of Bali.
That is, I find out myself how to be success life by material and spiritual. Yeah,
Oh,
by the basic is honesty. Yeah. Yeah. What is honest? Yeah, for me, honest is do lying to ourselves. Yeah, yeah. And by prepare mind, clear thinking, and true, and also what we think, what we talk, conversation, what we do, that is for me must be one line, yeah, one line, yeah,
yeah.
thinking, talking, and doing together, yeah. If for myself, what is lying and honesty? If people just thinking and talking about something, but they cannot do it, that is not balanced. Yeah, not honest for me. Sometimes people say everything talking about nice thing, and but they never do that.
Yeah.
that, that is not my style. Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, not about volume, not about material, not all about material. Material for me is flexible. For me, when I'm doing well, I prepare already what I'm thinking, what I explain to my guests, and how they are receive, how they are happy, and they give me a reward. That is my happiness of my life. Yeah?
The connection
Hmm.
got
Yeah,
unclear about halfway through. Uh, the last
yeah.
place it was good, you were talking about how important it is not just to say the truth and say good things, but to do them.
Yeah, yeah, about honesty. Yeah, about honesty. That is how people on Bali understand and want to learn about religion. Yeah,
Yeah.
because religion is just guiding people to wisdom. Yeah, guiding people to wisdom.
Mm.
And by religion, not guarantee people will be honesty without their really understand what is religion and who is we are. What is for this time? What is for the next? Why we are reborn to be human? That is many things, many items to be learned and how to practice here. Not only reading, only book, but practice is also must be a balance. Yeah. But many people they say, oh, I'm Muslim, I'm Hindu, I'm Buddhist, I'm Christian, but what kind they are doing and practice about life?
Yeah.
That is not like they follow the religion. Yeah. But for me, religion is only guiding, and the reason is how is people understand why we are reborn to be a human. Yeah, that is priority because by Hinduism, reborn to be human is difficult, not easy by the soul. How possible to be born by the people or the human?
Yeah.
Because soul, how to born to be people is they must have high quality of karma. If they create good karma, it is easy they are reborn to be people. If they didn't create good, they will be fell down to the low level of spirit. Yeah, like yaka. They born like a yaka, and then they born like a peta, yeah, and goat. And below of ghost is animal. Yeah? Below people is ghost or peta or yaka, and or demon. And below of demon is animal. Yeah, this is the level of how soul to be reborn. Why on Hindu Bali or Hindu Dharma, we must thankful and blessing. We born by the people, and we already born by the people, and we must create good karma for the next life. Why I believe with karma and reincarnation, and by the basic of dharma. Dharma is true line to be possible freedom by reincarnation. Yeah, yeah. The end of Hinduism is we call moksha. Moksha is mean freedom by reborn. And by my opinion, this time modern time, yeah, modern is more difficult how to create moksha. Very difficult. But for special for myself, I'm thinking when I was recognized my about 55 years from 55 years ago I'm born, and maybe I recognized just from I think about 40 years ago. I remember what I do, good or bad, yeah. And that is why I have principle. The rest of my life, I will create good karma. So long I start to remember what is good and what bad. For me, that is really the beginning of my experience when I'm still working at Cannabis. Yeah, I think I has been that time about 29 years old. Yeah, that is I'm start to interesting about how to be follow the real of guiding of my religion, Hinduism. From that time, I start to change my character. Yeah, from little bit while I'm start to learn little bit how to be wise. Yeah, and patient and honest. Yeah, yeah, that is my step of my life by my experience. Yeah, because what I'm explained for the beginning of this conversation, I born in a village and by poor family. Yeah, poor family on Bali very difficult. Yeah, very difficult how to find out exit from the situation. It's very difficult. Why how to be honest? How not so easy as what we are talking. Oh, I'm honest, I'm patient, not like that. That is many challenge, many terrible time we has been passing. That is for me why I'm agree about experience is the best teacher. That is I learn from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is good, what is bad, what is pastime. I feel when I was young, and now I'm already older. What is mean between happiness and sadness? That is for me is after I understand that is mean challenge of life by examen. When we has more terrible of our life, and then we are possible to solve the problem, and that is the best teacher for doing a next step. Yeah, and also a good way to learn about life. Yeah, this is why I'm focused now. I believe patience is priority to be possible more wise. Yeah? How to be a wise man, wisdom person. The basic is honest, and then patient and tolerant and understand. Understand, I mean, for everything, because we have social, also we have individual. Yeah, we have individual activity about ourselves, and then we have social contact with other people. That must be balanced, and that is we call on Bali balance life by material and spiritual. Yeah, that is part of wisdom in Bali. Yeah, that is I'm always trying to do the best and a true, yeah, best for other people and true also to other people and true to myself and true to the God. That is we call honesty. Yeah. Yeah. If people just thinking, oh, blah, I like this, I like that's okay because we are human. This is normal. But how we understand to other people? Yeah. Why we not think about blessing? What is blessing? People reborn to the world, they already bring past karma. Yeah. And now they create new karma for this life and for the next. That is I'm prepared. I'm always doing continue. I hope what I do, yeah, to be more better quality by the basic of dharma, we call by Indonesian. Dharma means it's true. Yeah, no lying to ourselves, no lying to other people, and no lying to the God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That is my principle. For the next, yeah, I think when I meet you, I met Katrinka or Bhikkhu Moneyya, yeah, for me it's respect. I like it. I love. Love is part of life. Yeah. How to be loved? Love with ourselves, love to our friends, love to other people by tolerance and kindly mind. Yeah, but that is easy to talking, but not so easy how to practice. That's why for me, practice is priority. How to make reality of my person. Who am I? Yeah. When I do meditation for spirit way, I'm sitting at my house temple in the night, and I'm focused about myself. That is mean I learn about who am I. Yeah. Why I'm here? Why I'm a God? What for? That is always every evening. Yeah. I'm never without meditation before sleeping. Yeah. Why for me? Friendship is priority, and then patience is the base of myself. Yeah. 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 When I start to learn about, I think already almost from 25 years ago, a step of my progress of my meditation until now, I have more a good feeling and control myself. Yeah, I'm control myself to be not angry, to be not jealous, yeah, to be not greedy. that is to be not lying. Yeah, why I tell you to be honesty. Yeah, that is priority in my mind. And then for me, If I meet people, good people, as you, David, yeah, as Jeffrey, Bante Muni, Bhikkhu Muni, easy for me. Yeah, that means I meet people by same line. Yeah, same line. That is my opinion, yeah, and my character. How to be create good for future. Yeah, because Balinese, I have family, I have generation. When I'm dying next time, I cannot bring my body. I never bring my material. Yeah, yeah. I just bring my karma. My karma guiding my soul.
Yeah.
What can I create? Yeah, just that. Yeah. And then when people now they have wealthy people, they have many car, many house, everything luxury. If the time coming, die, they cannot bring the material. Yeah, they cannot bring the body. Body they must leave it. Yeah, maybe for Bali people do cremation. If for other people they funeral, and all will be returned back to the basic. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, only the soul go away from our body, guiding by the karma. That is I believe about Hinduism. Yeah, yeah. And then that is me for me. Body only temporary, because they will be has changing. Everything will be changing. That's mean temporary. Yeah, yeah. No permanent. Yeah, permanent only our soul, and will be return again, depending what karma we have created. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That is for opinion of myself about life. Yeah. That I call balance life between material and spiritual. By the basic is good moral, yeah, honesty and confidence. Yeah, because between sadness and happiness, that is like brother and sister. Yeah? We never know. Maybe now we're laughing, and about second minute later we are crying. Why be ready? Yeah? Ready to receive. Yeah, between good and bad, between happiness and sadness. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm closing my conversation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you said, that you enjoy being a tour guide and telling people about Bali culture.
Yeah.
What do you tell them about Bali culture?
Yes. For my customer, depending how they are interesting, because not all my customer, because majority my customer from Thailand, not all they are interesting about culture. Some of them they visit to Bali just for relax, or some for just sightseeing, or watching the panorama or nature, and some of them very interesting about culture. Because Bali tourism is between nature, culture, religion, and people. Yeah, that is my job, tour guiding. I must understand what is Bali. Yeah, Bali is the landscape of Bali from top to the bottom, from mountain to the sea. Yeah, and then that is by Hinduism I call it bottom, middle, and top. Yeah, yeah. Bur is bottom, buah is middle, swa is top. Yeah. This is three steps. Yeah. Also by three. This is by macrocosmos. By micro we call talking, thinking, and doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is talking, thinking, and doing. That is mean symbol of honesty. Bur, buah, swa. Yeah. Nature. People and sky, yeah, because between top and bottom, between Swa and Bur, that is sky and ground, and people in the middle. Why on Bali people is priority? We are reborn to be the people. Only the people is visible to connecting the energy from the earth to the sky by meditation. And special for Bali, tourism. Tourism Bali is tourism of nature and culture by the base of Hindu. Yeah, that is island, and then why when I bring my customer to the mountain, and then they show about volcano, and they see a landscape of a rice terrace, and they show the garden and lake, everything. This is the part of how to telling them about Bali. Yeah, Bali is from the top to the bottom, from up to the down. Yeah, from mountain to the ocean. Yeah, it is mean Bali Island is holy area in mountain or on volcano, and the bottom is ocean. And by Bali Island, the head of Bali in the mountain, and the body of Bali in the village, and the foot of Bali in the ocean. Why we call between mountain and ocean. And in Bali we call Segara Gunung. Segara is ocean, Gunung is mountain. Yeah, the meeting point between mountain and ocean. And this is for Bali, the following about ritual cremation. When in Bali people they do cremation, after cremation is finished, the heart they throw away to the ocean, and then after 12 days or 1 month, they do the second cremation, and then they pick up again the soul from the ocean, and then they bring to the meeting point of the temple at east coast of Bali by Goa Lawa, or temple we call Bat Cave. Yeah.
Yeah, Goa Laya, that's the bat temple.
Goa Lawa. Yeah, Bat Cave. Yeah, that is for the ending of ritual cremation for Hinduism. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they are finished the second cremation, and then they fish it to Goa Lawa, and then they pick up the soul at the sea, and then they bring to the meeting point in the temple of Goa Lawa. Yeah. That is a little bit about the cremation. Yeah. Because cremation means is we must return our 5 elements of our body to the basic. Yeah. Because our body is temporary, and then we bring back to the basic of 2 5 elements. Yeah. Water, fire, soil, air, and ether, energy. Yeah. That is for a little bit about cremation on Bali. And when our body already gone, return to the basic, and soul go away according guided by the karma. Yeah. It's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to review what he's talking about there. So there's the low, the middle, and the high. The low is the ocean, Sagara, and the middle is the village, the desa, and the high is the mountain or the volcano, Gunung. And so the first cremation, the ashes from the cremation are first put in the ocean. And then after, a week or 2 or a month or something, the family will go to Goa Lawa, a temple not far from here, an hour and a half away, going east toward Chandidasa. We call it the back temple because it's really an amazing place. And it's right on the road, right on the main road. And I go there to see the best, but there's always these ceremonies going on because I swear they all keep telling me that everybody has to go there for the second one. And it's not a very big temple. And there's this cave there. And at sunset, all these bats fly out, just zillions and zillions and zillions. There's pythons that hang out at the mouth of the cave and catch any bats that are on the edge. And yeah, that's sort of neat to see that. And so, but he didn't mention the third cremation, which is the mountain, and going to the mother temple, Besaki, which is pretty far away. It's in the foothills of Agung, the tallest mountain here in a volcano, and it's pretty neat place. It's quite a walk up too to get there. I mean, you're not walking up a mountain; you're just walking up steps in the temple, but it's built on the side of a mountain. Okay, back to Wayan.
Yeah, that is a little bit about how I do my job to my customer. Yeah, and for special when I'm visit to special temple on Bali, they have different history and meaning. Yeah? Not only about village temple. Village temple, we have three temple at our village. That is we call temple for Brahma, temple for Vishnu, temple for Shiva. Yeah, and then by Bali also we have that is the type of village temple. And Balinese, we have three type of temple. House temple for the family, a village temple, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva for the village, and state temple. State temple is to belong from the state. That means for every people allowed to praying to state temple. Yeah. Also for non-Hindu. That non-Hindu, they are interesting to visit to the state temple, they are allowed to pray, but not by village temple. That is mean Hinduism is open religion for everybody, not only for Hindu. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That is a little bit about my job. Yeah. When I'm handling my guests, I'm really detailed where they are visiting to the tourism destination. When, where, yeah. For example, when I bring them to, they are interested to the mother temple. Oh, I'm explaining detail about step by step, layer by layer of the temple over there. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. By general, I tell you a little bit by general of my job. Yeah. But detail is still more and a lot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think right now Bali is doing better than the rest of Indonesia with the virus? With the COVID virus.
Yeah, I know.
Why is Bali doing better than the rest of Indonesia?
Yeah. This is by the reality and unreality. Yeah? The reality, Bali means more respect to the nature and to the people. Because on Bali we call desa adat. Yeah, like in Sanur, yeah, desa adat.
Desa adat means traditional village.
Yeah. That is very good system how to handling the people. Yeah. The people very respect to the law of adat. That is by the reality. Yeah. How's the leader of adat telling to the member of the village about a virus? Yeah. And then all people listen and following the law of the adat. Not only they follow the government, adat also helpful to take care the environment or handling of people on Bali. That's the first. And the second by spiritual view. Because in Bali, healing Bali, we do every year, every ceremony offering in the temple, house temple, state, village, or city, we do 1 day before Nyepi. I think Nyepi is Balinese calendar, New Year.
The day of silence, the day of dark.
Yeah, silent, yeah. Every community, every banyar, every village, they are doing sacrifice to make balance our life, to be the demon or yaka or Peter or ghost not disturb silently. That is mean we do a sacrifice to the bad spirit to be kindly.
I had to call him up about this because his use of the word sacrifice, he means offering. Bali has a lot of animal sacrifice. It leads the world in animal sacrifice. India's mainly gotten rid of it, but Bali and Nepal have a lot of it. Let's now, I can see it's gone down since we got here, just from stuff I hear about. But anyway, the offering he's talking about is to the spirits, so they'll be happy. On Nyepi, he says they offer the 5 colors of rice: red, black, yellow, white, and then mixed together. And they put them on a banana leaf out in front of the house. And Nyepi, he's talking about this is for Nyepi. That's the wonderful 24-hour period here in Bali where the whole place shuts down. And it is law. You cannot go out unless it's an emergency. And there's patrols. And if you try to defy it, they'll arrest you. And not just that, you can't have lights. And they shut Wi-Fi down. And the airport closes. And it is so wonderful at night on Nyepi. It's the sky, you can go out. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to go out, but I've gone out. And where we used to live, I'd go out and lie in the pool next door at the hotel, which was, just a hop, skip, and a jump from our door, like 50, 60 feet. And I'd lie in the pool and look there, or I'd go just, out in to a little clearing right near where our door was, and just look up, and wow, was it great. It reminded me of being in the mountains, looking at the stars, and it's really wonderful. And there's just hardly any sound at all. And if it's a cloudless night, and we've been lucky to have a number of cloudless nights for Nyepi here. And then the night before Nyepi is their Ogo, all the like paper mache and bamboo structures, and they even use rebar and stuff, make these big statues of. Oh, it's great. Anyway, I've talked about it in another podcast, but you can Google it. You can Google Nyepi, Nyepi, or Ogo, Ogoh, Ogoh. Google that. You'll see a lot of great images of the stuff they build here. They're wonderful. It's wonderful. And the tradition was to burn them afterwards, but they're not burning all of them now because the foreigners like them. And so they're a lot of them stick around. Some of them are on display. I bet some of them get exported. Okay. Here, we'll go back to Wayan.
Yeah. That is why for now, by the virus time, Corona on Bali, people already did offering, special offering for demon or for the ghost, for virus. About 3 months ago or 4 months ago, over on Bali, we do sacrifice. Every family make special offering, sacrifice to the bad spirit, to be not disturbed. That also, for me, I believe that is also many good influence to helping to protect Bali. Why on Bali not so many people die. Virus still is grows up, but less people die.
Yeah.
That's by spiritual view, yeah, spiritual view, yeah. But by the reality is people respect to the leader of adat, respect to the government, yeah, and they understand, yeah. I think that the way why Bali not was as other islands.
When you say
Okay.
respect to the adat, you mean people are following the rules, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. True. That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I see everyone wearing masks. I don't. People aren't protesting.
Yeah.
I do see young people, in the local Banjar meeting place. Once they get in there, they,
Yeah.
half of them take off their masks and.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but in
Yeah.
public, everybody's good.
Yeah. That is also, I mean, majority. Yeah, but I think some people also, not all they are. Maybe younger is different. Yeah, younger
Yeah.
people, some they not doing well, but majority people doing respect to the law
Yeah.
of Banyar. Yeah.
Are there any positive cases in Batu Bulan where you live?
No. My village really sterile, really clear from virus. No.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
people are being careful there, huh?
Yeah. Even I live in the village, my village. People here very, very carefully and very tolerant. Yeah. And how is until now no virus here. No people infected by virus here. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for all that. That's really good.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'm sorry we had the problem with the second half of the first time around.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But we just
Yeah,
got
no,
to talk more, and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
good.
Okay.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay,
Take care.
David. Yeah, David. Okay, success. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Thank you very much, Wayan Sudira. Is like Mr. Miss. Well, so that brings us to an end of Life in Bali, the Thursday presentation of Bhikkhu Audio. Our digression from all that Zen stuff. So until next time, I'm your host, DC, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Dogga Bandita and Feline Cuchita and dear lovely Katrinka. Wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.